Greetings, I am the Narrator, and welcome to this brand new special festive edition of a random horror narration special presentation, where I, the narrator, tell you a short horror story that is written by our channel boss, that is Random Ross. So, it's Christmas time. What better way than to tell a chilling story that is written by him, of course. This festive tale I'm going to tell you is called The Wild Man. I hope you enjoy it. We all know Santa Claus as this jolly man that goes around the world at night, on Christmas Eve of course, delivering presents and rewarding the good. But there are them dark legends of Santa from various different cultures. One of the dark renditions of this Christmas icon, of course, is Krampus. But in another version, Norwegian folklore, it is said that there is a wild man out there that is also Santa Claus, and only seeks rewarding, and in return spares one. Christmas time, many years ago, a family all out on a hike in a national Norwegian park with their son Nicky and his parents Mary and Joseph, having a walk in this beautiful winter wonderland, sticking to a trail as instructed by the park rangers. Of course, when the family stop for a warm hot chocolate, Nicky gets distracted by something he sees in the trees. A little boy or girl or someone. He follows them and then says to the young child, "Hello, my name's Nicky. I'm 7 years old. How old are you?" The little child, looking very wild and filthy, then smiles sinisterly. Then Nicky sees someone come out from behind the trees, a big bearded man in red. Nicky at first thinking, Santa? Then Mary and Joseph hear a scream. Realizing Nicky is not there, they run around and look for him, but are unsuccessful. Park rangers and people voluntarily look around the grounds, but there is no trace of him. And one of the park rangers says, "There's parts of this park that are undiscovered, bits of land that are untouched by people, and many people in these woodlands have gone missing. I think you need to accept the possibility that your son Nicky is gone for good." Mary and Joseph refusing to believe that. Many years pass by, and every year they never give up hope. 7 years pass by, and Mary and Joseph go back to the national park every Christmas time, especially on Christmas Eve, as it was the anniversary of Nicky's disappearance, leaving a letter and hoping he would find it or something like that. Mary and Joseph strongly believe that their son Nicky is out there. Then, one time, when they were looking around, they saw someone or something off the trail. It looked to be a small boy. Following them, they then go, "Hello, who are you?" said Joseph. "My name's Joseph, and this is my wife Mary. Are you lost?" The child smiles sinisterly, then goes for one of them, attacking Mary, trying to take a bite out of her. Joseph fending off the child, but then a gunshot is heard. It is the same park ranger that told Mary and Joseph 7 years ago to give up hope. Taking them back to his office, as the night falls in, he tends to Mary's injuries and says, "You should not be out here. I keep telling people to not come around these woodlands in the wintertime, especially around Christmas." Joseph then asks the ranger, "You know something, don't you? Do you know our son is out there? Has he been alive this whole time?" said Joseph. The ranger then said, "Haven't you ever noticed the locals are all strange?" "Well, I thought that's just their culture, I mean, we're from out of Norway. We're British." "Yes, well, you know the myths and the legends of Santa Claus, right?" "Oh, come on," said Joseph. "We're grown-ups here. We all know that Santa does not exist." "But he does," said the ranger. "But not in the way that you have been led to believe all these years. What, you think he's a jolly man that delivers presents on Christmas Eve to good boys and girls? Oh no. You see, a long time ago now, dating back centuries, there's always been a man out there in the woodlands. Obviously not the same one, but sort of a mantle passed down as each wild man. Santa Claus, of course, to you lot. He lives in these woodlands with his little helpers, his elves, if you will. You see, this village, every Christmas they would make a sacrifice. They would sacrifice a small child. Doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, as long as a small child, a newborn, is left out in the woodlands of this park. Then the wild man's helpers will come, take it, and raise it to become one of his helpers. But every now and then, it's said that one of those children would one day grow up to succeed him and be the next wild man. So he's a boy. And you've been coming every year for 7 years. The helpers are beginning to notice you too much, and they don't like it. That young child you encountered, that was one of the wild man's little helpers, an elf, if you will. How do you know all this, and why is there no authorities here?" said Joseph. "Yes," said Mary. "Why are you letting all this happen?" "Because this village has an understanding with the wild man. I've been working this ground now for 20 years. At first I didn't believe any of this either. But that night I saw my father. He encountered the wild man, and that wild man, that big, tall, muscular person with that red suit, that axe, just killed and bludgeoned my father to death right in front of me. I wasn't a child or a newborn, so he had no interest in taking me away. But he then told me to go. Go or I'll be dinner. So I went. I decided to become a park ranger. I thought it's the only authority I have around here. And I've been keeping things in check ever since. But of course, like I said, these helpers are recognizing you two now, coming every year on the anniversary of your son's disappearance. So you're saying our son Nicky could still be out there? If he is, he'll be a teenager now, won't he? How old was he when he disappeared 7 years ago? He was 7, so he should be 14 now. All those years we've missed and our son could still be out there, said Mary. Then, footsteps are heard on the roof, and giggling from outside. As a snowstorm comes in, Mary and Joseph wonder what the hell is going on here. I think they're not happy. We gave them a child. What, you mean you put a newborn baby out there tonight? Yes. I don't know why they're attacking. Then, the children or the helpers break in, giggling and chuckling away as they start to run amok around the ranger's office. The ranger starts to gun them down, but starts to run out of bullets. The ranger tells Mary and Joseph to run, just run, as he tries to fend off the helpers. But then they jump on him and start biting him and mauling him like wild animals, killing him in the process. As for Mary and Joseph, they run as they get chased by helpers. They run into the woods, and then that is where they then see Santa, the wild man. He then says, Joseph says, "This is him, this wild man. What have you done with our son? What have you done?" Then the wild man blows a herb into their faces, knocking them both out. As they regain consciousness, they then find themselves tied up, back to back, around what looks to be a camp throne. There, they see a boy sat on the throne. Instantly recognizing him, they say, "Nicky? Nicky, you're alive," said Mary. "Son, please, come back to us." The wild man then appears, looking sinister and menacing at them, saying in a Norwegian tone, "Someone's being naughty." "What have you done to our son? Have you tortured him all these years?" "No," said the wild man. "He is my son now, and he loves me dearly." No, Nicky, you know us. We're your parents, remember?" The wild man then says to Nicky, "Do you know these people? Are they your parents?" Nicky then walks up to them and looks at them, taking a good look, as if he's identifying them, trying to recognize them. Mary and Joseph say, "That's right, we're your mum and dad. We've been hoping you're alive all this time." Then Nicky walks back to his throne where the wild man is standing, and then the wild man asks Nicky again, "Do you know these people then?" Nicky then says, Yes, I do. Mary and Joseph sigh in relief as they then think he recognizes them as his parents. Nicky then smiles very menacingly and says, "They are dinner." Then the helpers all jump on them as they start to maul and tear them apart and rip them to shreds, eating them whilst they're still alive as they scream in horror as Nicky watches in delight. The wild man tells him, "You will make a fine wild man one day, when my time is done." "Thank you, wild man." Nicky then pulls out a knife and slits the wild man's throat, saying, "That's for lying to me all these years, saying my parents abandoned me. There now, the helper's dinner, and you, Santa, will be my Christmas dinner." As Nicky then anoints himself as the new wild man of the helpers. Ah, yes, did you enjoy that story? Did it disturb you? Was it shocking? Do let me know what you think to this tale down in the comments. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. I have been the narrator, and this has been a random horror narration Christmas special presentation. So, all I can say now is have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. I have been the narrator, and until next time, don't have nightmares.